Hello, welcome back to Connect Through Beauty, everyone. I am so excited to bring this episode to you guys. I had the privilege to sit down with Krista, who is a Masters of Balayage educator. She is only 23 years old and just absolutely brilliant when it comes to how to be a business-minded stylist. She is so funny, she's innovative, and she's very inspiring. And this was just probably one of my top podcast interviews that we've done so far. This was so fun. I truly enjoyed it. I know that you guys will. So if you're in a space to grab paper, pen, you probably want to, because she is going to share so many valuable things with you guys. So listen in, keep staying connected, and I hope that you all have a fantastic day.
I realized that hair was actually my calling. It was my passion, and I found it without even realizing it. And I feel like my journey, leading up to where I am today, it's, kind of just happened from following what feels good and following that dream and, never giving up, keeping that drive. And here I am now educating for a company, living my dream life, dream job, working behind the chair full time. It's definitely taking a lot of balance, but because of where I am today, it's all because of social media. I mean, it's all because of a silly app where we post pictures and videos, and it's incredible. It's so incredible.
Oh my gosh, no, I love this. Masters of Balayage is incredible.
Oh my gosh, awesome.
It's incredible. I love the whole concept behind it. It's very simplistic, and it's a really intricate piece of who we are now as stylists behind the chair. I really believe that when this really became a thing, like 15 years ago?
Yeah.
I thought we would think it was a trend, but it hasn't gone anywhere, and it's not going anywhere, and it's become bigger than ever. So talk to me about so you're educating with them. Tell us what does that look like?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's incredible. First of all, the team is absolutely incredible. So I truly believe in surrounding yourself around like-minded people, and Masters of Balayage has allowed me to do that. Not saying that the people I work with didn't support that, but we just had different visions and different goals. So, at the salon, it's, becoming a successful stylist and, building a clientele. And then I wanted a little bit more with that, and Masters of Balayage has allowed me to do so. So I've connected through them, through social media, actually. I messaged Ryan and I was like, hey, I want to assist a class. And, it's my dream to be an educator. And he responded and was like, hey, apply to be an ambassador, which at the time, this is right before COVID hit. I actually got the position a week before shutdown, or maybe 2 days before shutdown, actually. It was within a very short time. So I got that position, but I wasn't able to do much with it, obviously, because the world kind of shut down there. And they were doing some classes, when it was allowed, or in some states where, depending on the CDC guidelines. But I unfortunately didn't get to actually meet everyone within the team after a year, almost a year later. Wow. And ever since then, it's just my career has skyrocketed. So currently I'm, behind the chair 3 days a week. And then I travel with them, I'd say roughly once a month. It just kind of depends on the classes. Some things pop up here and there, but, educating with Masters of Balayage is just a great support system for myself, and then a great support system for other stylists. I mean, we're traveling and sharing our passion, education, our knowledge with stylists all over, and it's truly a powerful thing.
Oh, that's incredible. I love that. I actually used to be a Redken artist, so I can feel your passion. I'm like, oh my gosh, it really is amazing when you can impact other hairstylists in a different way. And, we're all about making people feel good and empowering people just behind a chair, but in a different way when it's you're peers, it's just a whole other journey. So I really
so
love
cool.
that. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
so
it was
cool.
awesome. Starting in it, you know, I was really nervous because of my age. That was actually something that held me back because, yeah, I've been with them. I'm on like my 3rd year working with them. So I've been with them since 21, 20, you know, around that time. I became an ambassador and worked my way up to my position. But I realized, you know, my age is actually a strength, not a weakness, because that passion is contagious. I mean, you can teach skills, but you can't teach passion. It's either there or it's not. And so traveling and being able to meet stylists all over, it's been incredible to be able to share that journey with them. And the feedback has been incredible because, like you said, there's so many different ages in this industry. And, you know, social media obviously is a big topic with it because of all the different kind of stylists here. So it's been really, really cool to be able to connect with stylists of all ages and being able to share that. And it's awesome.
Definitely. Oh my gosh, I love it. Yeah, I mean, so we have like so many different tools that we can use when it comes to like a referral card or, you know, tell your friends, tell your family. We have so many different tools that we can use. And I think there's a time and a place for all of it, right? So, but I would love to dive into how you utilize social media as this is how I'm going to build my business.
Love it. So with social media, I know a lot of people listening, they're probably rolling their eyes if they're not a fan of social media, and I definitely can recognize like the negative effects of social media with the imposter syndrome and, you know, the posting, but I think all that comes with how you view things. I think social media, I prefer to focus on the positive with it, and that is focusing on connecting with like-minded individuals, helping people, and, you know, building your clientele through it. So starting on social media, I started by posting, you know, what I wanted to attract into my chair, because that is going to market to your dream clientele. So starting out, I posted a lot of, you know, blonding, balayage. I stayed away from men's cuts. And, you know, at the time I didn't do extensions. So obviously that wasn't something I was marketing. And that just kind of allowed people to actually showcase what I was doing in my chair. And it built that trust before the client even sat in my chair. So that was the biggest thing with social media, is being able to show your clients what you're capable of. And then they come in and they show you your own photo as your inspiration photo, which is a good feeling, but also awesome because your client knows what you're capable of and they believe in you for that.
Absolutely. So so it began by just slowly posting these pictures. Like, this is definitely where I see my passion, where I see my strong suit. I'm going to focus on these. And, you know, I've heard this a ton, like where you want to start gravitating to is where you start actually posting all those pictures and really making a name for yourself in that sense, which I love that. So in the beginning, it has to be, I'm sure, a little bit of a challenge where you're just trying to figure all that out. So if we have listeners that, you know what, I really do need to start upping my game, how do they even begin?
I would begin by taking all the clients, because obviously starting, we take everything just to get a feel for, you know, where our niche kind of sits. So I would start by taking that and then, you know, posting things you're proud of, what felt good to you and what you enjoyed doing. I think that really jumpstarts your social media and you're building that portfolio online, because then you can post what you want to do and the services you want to bring in behind the chair. That's what I would suggest for someone who is just starting out. Now, hashtags too. I mean, photos are one thing, but obviously with social media, there's so much to go into it. But I would suggest with hashtags using stuff like, you know, hashtag your city and then hair, hashtag city hairstylist, hashtag city hair salon. And then you can even go and dive a little more deeper and do like hashtag your city blonding or hashtag balayage. And that's going to really niche down to those people. Because when we think about it, when you're looking for let's say a new nail artist or a new restaurant, you know, you're going to social media and you're typing in, for example, Raleigh Thai food or, you know, Raleigh nail salon, little things like that. So I would definitely suggest posting, you know, what you want to bring in, but then also using the appropriate hashtag so people can actually find you.
Right. You just said something that actually really like put a light bulb in my brain. It's so true, because I feel like social media has been, oh, well, obviously it's come so far. And
so
if
far.
if I'm looking for something, I will literally write so specific what I'm looking for. And so I love that you have said that, because it's true. Yeah. I don't think we even think, you know, to be so specific in those ways. So I love that. Yeah. Because so is a hashtag something that people are searching for and that just pulls up?
Yes. I mean, because people are typing in on the search bar, hashtag, you know, Raleigh hair. And then that is going to show everyone using that hashtag. And then the cool thing about that is because you are posting what you want to attract, they're going to see your photo. If they gravitate towards that picture, they're going to click on that and they're going to realize, oh my gosh, this girl's, you know, 10 minutes away from me. I'm going to book an appointment with her and, you know, get in her chair sometime next week, which is awesome.
I love that.
But one thing I also want to touch on, and something I wish I did a little more when I started social media, because we talk about posting what you want to attract, using the hashtags. However, I think it's so important to not forget to post yourself. That is huge, because at the end of the day, clients are going to gravitate towards you based off of the services you provide, but it's also a relationship. So them seeing you and getting a feel of who you are as a person, I think is super, super important. And it gives that client a visual on who you are when they sit in your chair. Because services nowadays are, you know, 3-4 hours. So you got to really like a person to sit there for that long.
You're so
nice
right.
to build that.
You're so right. So do you have a special formula that you use when you are posting a bunch of stuff about work? And then do you make sure that you post something personal or just you in the salon? Like, how do you do that?
Yeah, because that is hard. That took me a while to figure out how you, you know, keep it professional, but also personable at the same time. I do recommend posting one personal photo every 9 pictures, because looking at your grid, you have those 9 photos sitting there. I think having at least one of yourself, so when your client is scrolling through your page, they can see more of you. I think that is crucial. I also recommend doing a branding shoot. So getting a friend or maybe hiring a photographer if you wanted to take it to that level. You know, you can take it with your phone, but if you have a camera, I think that is super awesome, obviously, because the quality is going to look better and that will attract clientele that pays attention to those details. But doing a branding shoot, wearing clothes that you feel good in and, you know, expressing your love, showing your face, and videos too, showing a little more of your personality, maybe with your clients, or, you know, what you do outside of work a little bit, what your days off look like. I think little things like that are so important and so underestimated when it comes to social media, because we tend to look at the picture as a whole, but at the end of the day, it's who you are as a person. People want to see that face behind the chair. So that's what I would recommend for somebody who wants to maybe dive into posting about themselves, you know, where to start with a branding shoot, post those photos, because then you can't make excuses for why you can't post a photo of yourself, because I've been there.
That's awesome. I love that. I mean, what a great formula, great concept. I love it. And it's so true. I mean, people come to you because of you, honestly, right? So I feel like that's the name of the game. And then of course what you do with their hair is also just a huge bonus. But they come to you to spend this time, and you're right. Nowadays, it's becoming a lot longer. So how do you start building that relationship through, like, let's say someone reaches out to you and now they're interested. So how do you go about doing maybe like a virtual consultation or just getting to know them and book them?
Yeah, so I don't do virtual consultations. However, I think that is a phenomenal idea. I do in-person consultations. So if somebody is interested in sitting in my chair and they want an idea of what that looks like, pricing, they want me to look at their hair, they can book a 30-minute consultation with me. I usually direct them to call the salon. I work at a commission salon. So I'm able to, and I love this because I'm actually able to direct my clients there. So I don't have to spend all this time on my phone booking clients, which is nice.
Yeah.
But I would recommend actually creating a story highlight on directing clients where to go. So in that story highlight, you can link it to your, website, or link it to how to book if you do online booking. I think that's a great option to toss that in there, but also giving a client a feel for how far you book out, what they can expect in your chair. I think that's going to be crucial for someone sitting down to, or even before they sit down, just looking at your social media and an idea of what to expect when they sit in your chair.
That's awesome. Yeah. So you, do you have a link on your Instagram for people to book an appointment with you, or is it just for consultations that they can pre-book?
So I have a booking highlight in my, I have a booking highlight in there. I have an idea of how far I book out, what location to call, because I bounce back and forth between 2 locations. I work at both, so I just stated in there, you can call either one to book with me, but here's an idea of what to expect on how far I book out, how to get an appointment. And then I also add in there, my DMs are open if you have any questions, because at the end of the day, I mean, clients don't really know what they're looking for. Like, do I book a highlight? Do I book a balayage? What the heck is a teasy light? These are common questions that clients are having. So in there, I do have a little note saying my DMs are open if you have any questions, but to call the salon to book an appointment. That way, it kind of slows down that traffic coming in my DMs with, clients messaging. Because right now I'm balancing, clients and then also stylists, since my target audience is more so towards education. But in the beginning, when I was just targeting 2 clients, it was definitely a flow of people coming in, and I found making that booking highlight just made things so much easier, because I can respond and be like, hey, refer to my booking highlight for all details.
Perfect. I love it. And how simple is that? So simple. So simple. I love it. And I love how you have thrown these ideas out there, because I don't think people think how simple it really can be, and I think people get a little overwhelmed with all of the things, right? And there's so much out there for social media, TikTok,
so much,
Snapchat, and the Facebook. I don't know if many people do Facebook anymore, but there's a lot of things. And I think that it's great that you give them these tools, and this is so valuable.
Yeah.
So tell me why you got into the beauty industry.
So the beauty industry kind of always held a special place in my heart. I loved everything from like waxing eyebrows, or not waxing, I'm sorry, plucking eyebrows. Waxing, I did not know how to do. You still don't want me to wax your eyebrows. Makeup, I loved anything fashion. I mean, I was just drawn to more of a artistic side of things. Yeah. And, starting cosmetology school, I wanted to be a makeup artist, but of course, found my passion through there, and it's always been there. But I think a constant fear I had behind me was, one, not a lot of people did it. So in school, I went to cosmetology school with one of my best friends, but we were the only 2 people who even took that route. So that was scary. But another thing that held me back was money, because there was this constant thing about, hairstylists not making a great income, and that is just so false. Yes. I mean, I can't believe I even fell for that, because it really is what you make of it. Your level, I was told very early, your level of hunger is equal to your level of success.
1000%. You couldn't be more true. Yeah, this is the best industry, I believe, ever. And for myself, it's just been a growing passion. It's always been there since I can remember being little, right? And it just constantly gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And there's so many things that evolve with it, right? And so many different avenues that you can go into, and whatever you're dreaming of doing, it's there and you can do it.
There. It's so true. Yeah, we spend so much time focusing on our skill set with our hands, but I think at the end of the day, it really comes to our mindset. Mindset is a powerful, powerful thing. And I think that's something that not enough people talk about and not enough people focus on.
You have nailed it. Yeah, we're in the people business, and if we can't connect with each other, we don't know how to connect with each other. It's unfortunate, but you can't be successful, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's my biggest mission, honestly, right now, is to focus on that gap, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the full circle, the mindset has to be a part of everything, because and communication and understanding people are all different, and how to communicate in different ways, and to read social cues and things like that. It's something that, and you're so young as well, which is amazing that you have this brilliance behind you where you can connect with totally different age groups and still make sense. And I love that. Like, that's huge.
It's been a challenge, but it's pretty cool, honestly.
Yeah.
It's awesome being able to connect with different age groups and, you know, being able to mend the two together. I think that's the biggest thing. Is there's a division between, I don't want to say experienced, seasoned stylists versus new stylists. And I feel like we can all just work together and combine our knowledge and just really create something powerful.
Absolutely. It's all about being open. And it doesn't always have to be one way.
No, not at all.
People. We're not black and white.
No.
I love it. That's awesome.
Well, what drew you to the artistic side of this industry?
Ooh, I mean, honestly, every piece of this business has got me excited. And so I was behind the chair for 11 years of the 18 that I've been in the industry. And after I had both of my girls, I hit a depression spot. So speaking to you about connecting with people and how huge that was a huge piece of my business. And to have lost that in myself was really difficult to connect again. So I had to pivot, and I became a recruiter. So in 2015, I recruited for the same company and been here ever since. So, but every avenue of my career has really had a piece, that built up to now. And I'm glad that I'm in this space where I can share this with you, and you get it and I get it. And we all understand that there's more to it. It's a bigger industry than we've ever imagined, and that we can help other young or old stylists or seasoned stylists understand that there's just that element of that mindset. And, if you can focus on growing yourself, then you'll be consistent and be successful. And I think that that's huge. And it is simple. It is simple. You just have to be willing to do the work and put the time in and focus on yourself. And sometimes that's not easy, but it's very, very important if you're going to continue to do this forever.
Yeah. Well, I love that you were able to find another, road within this industry and being able to still be evolved, even though you're not behind the chair. I mean, that is powerful, and that just shows other people, and I'm sure other people can look up to you in that sense on, hey, I don't necessarily have to take clients every day if I don't want to. I can still have the same love and passion for this industry and just show it in a different way.
1000%. I used to run away from that story constantly. I used to kind of I didn't want to do hair anymore, so I just did this. But that's really not the case. And now, being able to take that piece of my life and do something good with it has been tremendous and really amazing. And I'm honestly freeing, very freeing.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So one last question before we run out of here. So tell the people that are in this block right now, they're just they're in their career. Maybe they're in it for a year, but maybe they're in it for 20 years and they've hit a block. Where do they go from here, and how do they pivot? Where do you see themselves heading next? What can they do?
It's a really great question, because this block is something that in this industry, someone hits at some point. Yeah. I know I hit this block about 2 years into my industry behind the chair. I was, just started double booking. I wasn't making time for myself, and I was forgetting the passion and the reason why I started in this industry. So I think the biggest thing I can say to someone who is currently in this block is to go back to why you started. Go back to what drove you to this industry. For me, that was, creating and photographing and taking models. And, for other people that might look like more work. But for me, that was fun because I was having to, kind of channel that creative side of things and bring myself back of why I started in that industry in the first place. But I think burnout happens without taking time for ourselves. At the end of the day, we have to fill our own cup in order to fill others. And doing things like that to make ourselves happy, kind of light that passion inside of us, I think is so, so important. Taking classes as well, I also think is an incredible thing because when you go to a class, you learn something new and then you're excited to use it behind the chair. So taking that class, kind of sparking that inspiration again, and then being able to apply it can kind of relight that fire. But first and foremost, take time for yourself, really look at how that happened in the first place, and then look at how you can prevent that for the future. Because we say, oh, we'll just, sit down and I'll, do something to make me happy again, or I'll take more time for myself. But then we tend to fall back into this pattern that got us there in the first place.
Right.
So I think it's super important to recognize where we went wrong and then what we can do next time coming out of it to prevent that.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah. What would you say?
I feel like I could talk to you forever.
I love it. Hey, I got all day.
This is totally my jam right here. And honestly, because I don't want people to feel like that. Because we are just so special, and everyone has like this special gift inside of them. Yep. And I think when we first start out, obviously, we're just so excited. I think the biggest thing that my suggestion for anyone that is in this space is to find what you can do to like reset yourself in between clients.
Yes.
And so like, how can we be, my biggest thing right now is how can you be 100% of the time? Well, kind of like that's impossible, but but you can do little small things in between clients where it does bring you back to that space where you first started. And whatever that looks like. For me, it was just going to the bathroom, shutting the lights out, and I just took 3 deep breaths. Turn them back on, wash my hands, and like I
love it.
Reset, right? And like get back out there and go do it again. Even though you just heard the most saddest story, from your client, it's very difficult to take that on. You build these relationships and you feel all of those feelings, but you have to set it aside because the next person doesn't have that. They came in and they're like high on life. So now you have to meet them at that level. And how can you adjust that all day long? And so that is a huge learn. And I feel that's where we really need to coach and focus on, because it sets people up to succeed throughout their career. And that, if we can do that, I think we have won.
Yeah. 100%. I love that. If my assistant's looking for me, I'll be in the bathroom with the lights off, taking 3 breaths.
Exactly.
Let her know now.
I'm telling you, just the littlest things. You know what else I used to do?
Things.
I would go like get new clips or a new comb. Like every week I would do something, because it's exciting to have new toys and new tools and stuff like that. I mean, and then of course the new blow dryer and all that stuff when you needed it.
Oh, yeah.
Just that like light that you needed. So just to kind of fill those little like things that make you tick, like the things that just light you up. That's important, because we're human.
It is important.
We need those things. We do that.
We are human.
For other people. Yeah.
But I think it's important for people to know that it's okay when that happens.
Sure.
Like, it shouldn't be something we're ashamed of.
Absolutely.
I remember when I hit that point, I kind of just shut off and I didn't tell anyone about it. No one had no idea I went through that. And then, one day I hit my breaking point and called my boss just absolutely crying because I wasn't able to express what I was going through. Right. And it was just important to know that, hey, that was normal. Like it's
Right.
okay. Like you're human. Like you're taking on a lot. Like let's take a step back and realize where we went wrong and what we can do, better and differently for next time. Because it's
Absolutely.
all a learning experience. I
It
mean,
sure is.
no such thing as a mistake. We always grow from it. It's
You
not,
did it.
why is this happening to me? It's, what am I learning from it? What is
Yes,
it teaching me?
you got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I love it.
Well, I hope that you guys enjoyed that. I know that I did, and it was an absolute blast. So definitely take all of this information, take it in, and use it on your own, right? So all of these things that I bring to you on the podcast, I want you to piece out the things that make sense for you and put it together and make it your own, and you guys can't help but be successful and level up as the professional I know that you want to be. I also have some really fun, exciting news. So Monday, April 3rd, Michael Cole and I are doing a webinar, and we're kind of focusing really on retail, and we're calling it retail therapy because there's so much behind why it's so hard for us to sell retail. And that word, I just cringe when I hear it. I know that you guys do too, and that's kind of why we're poking at it. Selling retail, it is a little bit of a harsh thing when you think about it, but it is so necessary, and it's a part of the experience that you're giving your client. So we have to, must think this way. We have to think this way. And that's what we're going to talk about. So I'm going to link that into this episode, and you guys can register, sign up for it. Even if you can't make it for the live, we will send you the recording. I hope that you all have a great day. Keep staying connected.